How's it going? I think I want to. Well, I hope everyone's had a fucking awesome year. It's been pretty interesting all over the place. I think I know what I'm going to start doing, like immediately this week and starting the new year. Um, Everything around the world's pretty whacked, and this shit going on in the states and this movie that just come out. I just come across old Dan Bongino on Rumble here. Yeah, so
Their last name right. I'm sorry, Eva V. I think she was by Eva
listen to this.
VLAA on Twitter. She was on Steve Bannon's War Room yesterday talking about exactly this. How the World Economic Forum and others have been warning about a cyber pandemic. We've been warned through the Washington Post, New York Times, and PBS about China's cyber attack.
There's a movie on Netflix that just come out a week ago that Barack Obama had a big hand in, apparently. So that's pretty fucking wild. And it's almost like everything's playing out to how certain things have been written. Whatever. Here, I'll just listen to this
It's
shit.
in the left-wing newspapers, bro. It's not Dan Bongino's freaking conspiracy theory. New York Times, China infiltrating military installation. It's your papers. Here's Eva V. talking about exactly what we said yesterday. Hey, man, listen. This kind of sounds like a freaking warning, like they're preparing us for something.
Well,
Take a listen.
And this was a video in which they supposedly warned us for a cyber pandemic. Interesting choice of words there. And they detail what could happen if we are under a cyber attack, and that the only way that we could solve an attack like that would be to disconnect everything and everyone completely from the internet.
Right on.
And now, you can imagine what would happen if you disconnect everyone from the internet, right?
Could you just fucking imagine?
We
I
would
could
see
just
everything
imagine.
just basically
I think
going into
everybody should
chaos
just actually
immediately.
think
Nothing
of
would
that
work
for a minute.
anymore.
Just imagine.
Even something as simple as like, traffic lights or ambulances or any type of control or communication system that goes online would stop to work. So I figured this seems to me like a classic case of predictive programming, where
really?
not just the World Economic Forum, but now also through movies and fictional stories, they are trying to prepare the public to the idea of cyber attacks and the potential chaos that could come with that.
Yes. Thank you, Eva Vander Blinger. I can never say. I'm sorry. It's not. I don't want to mess up your name.
Yeah, isn't that
Believe me,
something
my last
else,
name is
eh?
Bongino. Everybody calls me Bongino. It's okay. I thank you. This woman is very bright. It sounds like predictive programming.
Really?
Which is kind of a more eloquent way of saying exactly what we did yesterday's viral show about. Why is Obama producing a movie about the end of the world and, quote, scaring the fuck out of the director? With what? His creative telenovela?
The movie is pretty
Probably
fucked.
information he got when he was in the White House. Why is the World Economic Forum doing? If this is all a conspiracy theory and we're all morons, like TikTok guy, why am I saying? Because the guy's a jerk. Everything to this guy is a conspiracy theory. Everything.
We're not far off from
These, keep in mind, these are the same guys who told you Putin wouldn't invade Ukraine, China's not going to cross the strait,
Right.
and that no one's going to fly planes into buildings. You believe these people, you're going to get yourself killed. Remember that movie World War Z? It's a zombie movie. I get it.
Same
I
thing. We're
like
all
it.
trying to
It's
turn
campy.
us into
It's
fucking
kind of
zombies
like,
anyways.
it's one of my faves, right? It's based on a book. The book's totally different, but either way, it's good. World War Z, when the zombie apocalypse happens, Brad Pitt's in Israel, and he's trying to figure out how the Israelis built this wall to keep the zombies out.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's talking about the 10th man, how when there's 10 people in the room and they all agree, one is obligated to take the other side.
Everything's in threes.
And he
so
says
nine
at
is
the
what they
end,
believe in.
we never think anything's going to happen until it does. You're telling me it's an unlikely scenario that China would try to wipe out our cyber grid, despite the fact that
Thanks to
almost
fuckface out
every
east here bending over
mainstream
to China,
outlet
too.
has been reporting on China's threatening our cyber grid for the last 5 years. You got to be a moron to believe that. So rather than repeating what we did yesterday, what does that look like? What happens? I mean, this is I was sitting there yesterday putting together today's show, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table, and I started to think to myself, it's unfair to the audience telling them to prepare, but not what to prepare for.
All the big
Because
cities,
what would it
even up
look
here.
like? Now, I will say this. The chances of a cyber attack or an EMP, although small, are not insignificant. The chances of China taking over the entire landmass of the United States are probably pretty slim. But I think I'm obligated to show you what it would look like, because this is what China looks like right now. Let's get this party started. CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. If China were to take over, or some totalitarian type government here.
Well, better get some gunpowder and lead. Ha! What a shit show. Anyways, I think I'm gonna get into politics in 2024. That's just all there is to it.